right, I want to react to grand finals. Now, this is not a great look for somebody involved, okay? Because this is an 8-minute grand finals, if you guys have not noticed, okay? Unfortunate. Oh, what is your skill story? Oh, yeah, that's right. Sorry. There was one time, there's this advanced technique that I was learning in the very early days of Persona 4 Arena. It's called gliding with Yosuke. It's very advanced, where you have to do like instant air dash, like, and then plink 3 buttons. It was very hard, very, very difficult, especially on different opposite ends. So I reserved myself to be like, okay, how long does it actually take to mess this up? It usually takes around 5 seconds to try to do it and mess it up. So I was like, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna count to 1,000 and I'm gonna do it 1,000 times each side. And I did that. And while I wasn't perfect, I was far better than I was before doing that. So sometimes some techniques are just really cringe, right? For example, Slayer's like dandy step, jump, cancel nonsense. I'm not good at that. If I wanted to play Slayer, I would have done the exact same like thought process towards learning that skill. So I would have done that and actually tried to practice it about like 1,000 times or something like that on each side in order to be able to get it. Because some things, it really doesn't take that long to learn. It just takes like 30 minutes to an hour of dedicated practice to that skill to then be able to use that skill properly in a match and then try to actively properly use it in a match. And then you're going to mess it up in a match, but then eventually you will be able to get it. So there you go. That's your little tips and tricks for you. So anyway, guys, let's talk about it. Okay. EVO Japan 2025 just wrapped up. Okay. And unfortunately, somebody got absolutely demolished. Okay, if you could please look at the bottom left hand corner. We have an 8-minute situation in our hands. Not very fortunate for whoever is involved. Okay, so let's check it out. Let's see. Okay, if I had to place my chips, if the chips had to be placed, I don't remember how to use this. There we go. If the chips had to be placed, if I had to guess, I would say whoever's in winners. I'm gonna make an estimate. I'm gonna make a guesstimate. If I had to make a guess, I would say probably Red Ditto wins. That's my guess. Whoever's in winners definitely wins. Okay, that's obviously like the most obvious spoilers known to mankind. Okay, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Red Ditto. Let's see. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Bang. Okay, let's see. Who's in winners? Who's in losers? I do not know. Here we go. Daru Ino. Now, Daru is incredibly strong. So is Red Ditto. Red Ditto is actually really funny. Some USA rep. I fought Red Ditto on the streets. Okay, the fact that he's out here is very, very impressive. Online warrior. Okay, whoever says online cannot make you get to EVO Grand Finals.
These last 2 characters you're gonna see today. One of them's gonna be a champion.
Get a load of this guy. Okay, get a load of this guy. All right, Game 1 Grand Finals. How come I don't see who's in winners or losers? It's kind of weird. Okay, Daru Ino, classic round start. Now, Ino's round starts are very, very tricky. It's funny because Ino as a character is not actually like, Ino's pretty strong in certain situations. Ino's not strong all the time. One of the ways that Ino is strong in though is round start. The threat of Stroke the Big Tree. Yes, I know the name. Okay, don't say anything about the name. The threat of it is very, very obnoxious because it goes under a ton of stuff, and then Ino can obviously do other things like Chemical Love and even jump back, dive kick and stuff like that. So I'm sure we're gonna see that a ton. Okay, I'm sure we're gonna see that a ton. Okay, here we go. Yep. Gets frame trapped with the red wild assault. Bursts in the corner. This is a very, very good burst because, oh my goodness. Now this is interesting. Red Ditto knows if you block this sword high, right, you actually can get fuzzy. This is exactly what Red Ditto was trying to do. Because Daru Ino blocked it high, blocked it standing, Red Ditto has so much block stun that he can just run up and fuzzy, which very, very good awareness when I play Ramathon. I need to remember that. Okay, but Daru does not eat the mix. That was actually a very perfectly timed deflect shield. Does not want to eat the mix and gets the freak out of dodge. Chasing down some Ino stuff. Gets the counter hit. Aye, new Ino stuff. Okay, Ino was not really able to get a ton off of these hits before, but because of this new change, right, the kind of drift forward Chemical Love, Ino's able to get much better combos. All right, breaks the corner or breaks the wall. Now, here we are, background start. Hey, just got completely smacked, but of course, like, that's just the layer 1 mix. EVO had so much meter, it didn't really matter, right? You can do stroke the big tree all day long. EVO had too much meter. Oh, nice. Tries to contest the stroke the big tree, and it works. Goes for the delay high, right? And now this is a little tricky. This is some buffoonery, right? Just the presence of EVO walking, right? EVO just like walking at you is really messed up because she can just do a jump slash or go empty jump low. Empty jump low as EVO is very, very strong because honestly, 99% of EVOs really go for an overhead. So if you're an EVO player in my chat, okay, just keep in mind, stop going high all the time. Sometimes go low, smack their ankles, bang, right? Okay, big blocks, but that is unsafe. Ooh, very strange. I wonder if this 5K was too far. Yeah, that might have been too far to actually get Rekkas, and Red Ditto recognize that. So just maintains corner pressure. And now mid-screen mix for some reason, jump C or jump whatever the frick is very, very strong, right? EVO does not confirm, but now here we go. What the frick? How can you get a combo off that? Boom. Wow, that is really messed up, the fact that EVO can get a combo off that. Big super, big soup, knockdown. All right, Red Ditto's kind of on his last life, but Red Ditto, notice, Red Ditto has a ton. Yes, the production value is high, I know. A ton of meter, at least 50 of it, and a ton of burst, okay? So Red Ditto is honestly not in a bad spot right now. Red Ditto has all the tools to successfully defend against EVO, who does not have any meter. Now, EVO will get 50 meter, but EVO will get 50 meter after making contact, and that's very, very important, is because one of Daru's win conditions is just to dash up Chemical Love, right, or dash up Sultry, whatever the Sultry perform, the freaking super, right, the air super, right, and B+, and then kind of win from there. But the fact that he doesn't have it off rip makes it a little tricky. He can't really do it behind it, but he will get it upon this next interaction. So let's see what the defense does. Right? Okay, deflect shield, safest option. What the frick was that? Okay. Mix. Okay, goes for the throw. This throw is very, very obnoxious because of guard crush. Right? But now this is the thing about Ramathal, is that Ramathal, after throwing a sword, yeah, you got the throw, but at what cost, right? After this 5K, there's really nothing more that that Red Ditto can do, and Red Ditto knows that. Red Ditto tries to kind of play the spacing game with 5H, right? EVO gets out, has a meter, he's able to do it. Whiffs throws, recognizes the throw whiff, immediately baits, right? Goes for, hey, this is exactly what we're talking about. Yikes, dude. Now, here's the thing. It's really, this is messed up because the answer is like, okay, well, if I deflect shield again, then Red Ditto can honestly just run up throw, right? And grab them things, you know what I'm saying? So, because there is that tiny little gap, right? So it's really a messed up situation to be in, right? So Daru reserves to not do it in anticipation for, I deflect shielded the first time. The second time, I'm not going to deflect shield. I'm just going to eat the mix. And boy, did they eat the mix. Straight to the noggin. That would have killed absolutely bursts. But you know what? The burst was just collateral damage, man. Thank you for the burst tax, man. Thank you for the burst tax. Okay. Remember, very strong options from EVO. Bing. Throws you into the corner, all right? Hey, goes low. Very tricky. Wall breaks. But unfortunately does not get meter. But, does have meter right now. So, I wonder why Red Ditto opted to just sit here. That's actually a very weird option. I don't know why Red Ditto just kind of opted to sit here. But Red Ditto's going to pay for it. I don't think he's getting burst before this, before the end of the super. But the super does not kill. So he could gold burst. Could go for gold burst. Ooh, that would have caught me.
That was cheap as hell.
Wait. I wonder. Huh.
I wonder if there's an issue there. It seems like Ditto didn't do anything.
Yeah, was there a controller issue there?
All right, looks like they're back into it.
No way. Okay, there was a controller issue there. That's kind of messed up, bro. I'd be so mad if there was a controller issue on my end, bro. I mean, what do you do? It looks like he just took the round. That's really messed up. That's really messed up, dude. That's really messed up, bro. I'd be fucking livid, bro. But unfortunately, it is what it is. You got to just take it and move on. Melted adapters? That's crazy. You just got to take it and move on. You just got to play your game. Play the game. I really hope that does not affect your performance. It really might.
Wow, what a 5K.
But Red Ditto's looking strong. Smashes him into the corner. Boom. The super does not do a 1 quadrillion amounts of damage, which is very, very nice. Boom. Whoa. The fact that you're able to get a freaking combo there is nutty. Boom. Crosses up just because it just barely did not hit the corner. That's messed up. And then you get the corner. And then you kill them. Oi, you're dead. Boom skis. How the fuck? That is crazy. Them nerfs. Oh my gosh. Yes, get off me. Daru, I like it. I respect it. Now, the reason why Daru wants to do this instead of just go for a regular mix is because if Ramlethal does super, Daru is now able to block it. Wild Assault. Ah, but the big tree, bro. She's stroking it. She's stroking the big tree. Ooh, what's the throw? She tries to go for a throw mix, and that kind of messes the frick up. Here we go. Big 6P. Get off me. Ugh, get off me. Ugh. All right, goes low. Big smack. Big smack. Here we go into the super. It's not good for Red Ditto. Red Ditto is crying right now, I'm sure. Hey, 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 big blocks. I'm scared. Mommy, I'm scared. Big soup. And you're dead. That's just Eno. That's just Eno in action, man. Also, Wirecoders, thank you for the follow. That's Eno in action, buddy. What do you do? Now, no freaking way, bro. Actually, no way. Double controller issues in grand finals. That is not good. That's really not good. Yikes. Look at them. They are so upset, bro. They are actually so upset. Do they restart the whole game? Or does he give it to him? He gives it to him. Okay, okay. He gives it to him. He gives it to him. He gives it to him. All right, now actually the next round. Oh, right. Okay, so it's 1-1. Now actually the final round. Okay. Holy frick. That's actually not good. All right. But Eno goes for the mix. Now, this is the problem, okay? Hold on. Big side tangent. This is really messed up because if you're in grand finals, say you're Red Ditto, you make it to grand finals, okay? You played well. You made it all the way up the bracket. You finally made it to grands against Daru, Eno, and you've won a tournament before. Correct me if I'm wrong. Red Ditto's not new to this, okay? He true to this, okay? If I'm on that stage and my controller messes up twice, not in the game, bro. Especially if it costs me the first game. I'm not in the game, bro. I'm not in the game. Arc World, that's what I say. He not new to this. He true to this. All right? And he trying to get a two-peat. He trying to go back-to-back Arc World Tour into EVO Japan Grand Finalist. Bro. I'd be upset. I'd be wildly upset. And now the problem is, Red Ditto as a competitor. These are the things that you have to deal with as a competitor. As a competitor, you just need to game on. That's all you can really do, right? You're there, you're already in the position. You can't exactly, cry foul. Sure, you can hoo ha ha, but you're up there on stage, and ultimately, you just need to win. You need to win where you can. You need to win. Try your best under these circumstances. Does he have the iron will to succeed? Okay, I still don't know. Do they do a winners losers bracket? I don't know what the frick is going on. Punk lost to City of the Wolves match because of the same position, bro. I would be. I know Punk, dude. Don't check Punk's Twitter for a couple of days. Don't check it for a couple of days. All right. Anyway, let's get back into it. Don't check. All right. All right. Daruino's on a tear though. On a mother flipping tear. Boom. Because here's the thing. Eno is definitely kind of a slept-on character, right? I don't know why. Tries to bait the burst. This is really messed up. Yeah. What do you do? What do you do? Just too much. This is grand finals. I know this is grand finals, but I don't know if they do like winner side and loser side where like whoever's in losers can reset the bracket. Okay, this is the last game. Now this is the last game. If you are Red Ditto, losing your burst in the first 3 seconds is not a good look. It's not a good look. Okay, it's not a good look. Okay. Backs up. Boom. In there. Okay. Big blocks. Okay. Nice. If you delay that too much, then you do get this 6P, which is very good. Red Ditto recognize that. However, chucking swords. Swords getting chucked. Gets the damage where they can, and all of a sudden, and now we're back to round start. Now, this is the thing about Eno. Eno's very, very annoying. Very annoying character. Reason why, her neutral is very unorthodox, right? She's a character that specializes in being in the air. And yes, there is a universal 6P mechanic, which did not exist in the previous versions of Guilty Gear. But she's very annoying, very obnoxious. Her movement is incredibly unorthodox. And if she gets you to block anything, you're all of a sudden in a mix-up situation that you kind of have nothing to deal with. The things that hold her back ultimately is her health and her damage. She doesn't do a ton of damage, although sometimes she just kind of makes you explode sometimes, right? And she doesn't have a ton of health, and especially against characters like Ramlethal, right? As we're seeing already, is that Eno honestly only got to get hit like 3 times, where Eno has to hit you like 3, 4, 5 times maybe, or something like that, right? Eno playing the grounded base footsies Guilty Gear is known for. I like that. I like that. So problem is, though, is that somebody like Daru Eno, who's able to pilot Eno very, very effectively, knows matchups, studies matchups, understands movement and character and player habits. Eno has a ton of moves, especially Stroke the Big Tree is one of the most oppressive moves to kind of deal with. They made Stroke the Big Tree minus, by the way. It's like -7, bro. But that joint is so mad obnoxious. It's barely punishable, like in an actual match. It's very difficult to punish it. So now Red Ditto has no burst, which if you have no burst against Eno, you're kind of cooked, bro. You just got to eat the mix. All right. Now Red Ditto also doesn't have meter, which is also not a good look. If you have no burst and no meter against Eno, you're kind of cooked. All right. This just might be the end of the round. Hey, however, Red Ditto, nerves of steel. Fuck all what I said, bro. Just freaking 6P. Never mind any of what I said. Ignore all of that. Ignore every single one of that. Okay. Here we go. Gets back in though. Now you don't have positive. You do have a little bit of meter, and that's it. That's your get out of jail free card, right? The problem is you're not going to get a burst for the rest of the round unless you break the wall. Then you will, okay? But Red Ditto manages to kind of show the strength of Ramlethal, which is the strength of Ramlethal is if we are kind of close to the corner, the sword is going to push you straight into the corner. 6P is really broken against Eno, actually. Kind of, not really. Kind of, not really. There are a lot of instances where Eno is able to navigate around your 6P and also negate it almost entirely because of the angle that she hits in. Sometimes her angle is so low to the ground that even if you 6P at an appropriate time, she will hit the ground way... Like, she's so low on the ground that it actually goes below the threshold of what is head invul. It's kind of really obnoxious. So, yeah. Eno kind of doesn't have an answer to everything. Eno's just incredibly hard to pilot. Okay? But it doesn't matter. Run up throw, okay? We're playing Rams game. Boom. Oh, my gosh. See, that's another strength of Stroke the Big Tree. Nago can't do that. Nago gotta hold this, bro. Nago too fat. A ton of characters would have to hold that, where Eno kind of doesn't have to. Very similar to what is it? Soul Bad Guys Vortex Raid, right? Soul Bad Guys Vortex. However, Soul Bad Guys Vortex is way more minus, and it is way more committal, right? Eno's is a far less committal Vortex Raid. So situations like these, Eno's out, bro. Eno's out. All of a sudden, it's Eno's turn. You're getting pushed to the corners. Your swords are on the other side. You know, even if you got super, but Red Ditto, you know, he ain't new to this. He's true to this, but it doesn't matter. Red Ditto, he overextended, gets flooded 6P yoinks. That's another strength of Stroke the Big Tree, is that Stroke the Big Tree allows Eno to advance hyper aggressively forward, okay? In a game where Eno has one kind of angular footing like option, which is up in the air, Stroke the Big Tree into RC makes Eno just kind of able to slide under everything in a very aggressive advancing move. So yeah, it's Eno's good, man. Eno's good. Okay, which puts him in prime position to be able to 6P, get this damage. Boom, you're in the corner. Eno, hey, that was messy. Oh, that was extra messy. This is a mess. This is a slop-tastic, okay? This whiffs. Red Ditto goes for the throw, gets flooded overheaded. Boom. Eno doesn't even confirm skis, okay? But Red Ditto was mashing something. I don't know what Red Ditto was mashing. I don't know what Red Ditto was mashing. It kind of sucks. All right, last round for Red Ditto. Red Ditto, boom, he knows. Get the FUD off me. Now, here's the interaction, okay? Here's the interaction. Boom, you get hit by Stroke the Big Tree. However, it is not a counter hit. That is important. After getting non-counter hit by Stroke the Big Tree, it is technically kind of sort of your turn. What do I mean by that? Well, if you see here, right, we're going to just see. if Daru decides to go for this upwards angle approach, right? What I love to do, because I'm already kind of trying to mash out of that stagger state, I press 5P. I'd be like, 5P, boom, and then it smacks her right in the face, right? You can also go for 6P, although I feel like 6P is a little bit tougher for me personally, because I am bad at the game, right? We already know this, okay? Nobody has to say it. If you say it, you're getting banned. Okay, so, yeah, so that's the idea. That's the option. So, he opts for, boom, get off me. 6P. Hi. Oh, but this movement though, jeez Louise, Red Ditto's scared. This is where the nerve set in. Red Ditto's scared because these are messed up, man. Now the thing is, what's really funny is that you can actually just run under them, but it's tough to just run under them. Yes, if you run forward for whatever fucking reason, your hitbox is actually lower, and so you actually don't get hit by those, no matter how big of a character you are. It's very, very weird, very, very strange. I noticed it as playing Gold Lewis. If I just run, I actually don't get hit by them. It's very, very funny, but it doesn't make it any less obnoxious. I also think that the way that Daru did it. No, if you just do a raw like that, then yeah. But geez Louise, just because of the fear, Daru was able to get in. Manages to maintain the corner, goes for 2K, into the knockdown. Now this is a wall slump situation, right? Wall slump situation, which means that Daru gets a mix here, right? But nice backdash from Red Ditto. Red Ditto, it's your time to shine. What is Red Ditto scared of, man? No, dude. No, dude. No, dude. Say it ain't so, bro. Say it ain't so. Not a third time. Three times in grand finals. Bro, that just completely ruins the competitive integrity, bro. 3 times in grand finals. Now, I feel for all parties involved. And in losers finals too. Dang. Red Ditto got 3-0'd by the PS5, bro. Wow, that sucks, dude. That sucks. I would be livid, bro. I would absolutely be livid. The PlayStation overheated and damaged his controller / hitbox. And that's the problem, bro. They should just remake the match if the fault is on the EVO setups. I kind of agree. Because what happens? Let's just finish it out. Let's just finish it out. Let's see what happens.
I'm not sure.
Guess here for game. They look like they're game.
All right, they're just running it. Looks like they're just running it. That is not good, man. That blows, man. Looks like they're gonna just run it. Let's see how Red Ditto plays it out. Boom. Red Ditto plays it out. I like this. At this point, it's like whatever, man. Now I would have made a fit. I would have. Hey, it's grand finals, bro. I demand to do setup, okay? But I'm not Red Ditto. Red Ditto's making it work. This might win. This might kill. Oh my gosh, dude. This is. I'm scared. I'm scared for everybody. I'm scared. I'm scared.
The 6P will come down. The Beast of Ascension button. Daru qualifies into Arc World Tour.
Like he don't touch me. He said, yo, Red Ditto said, hey, don't touch me, bro. Don't touch me, bro. Golly, bro. That sucks, man. Now, okay. Questions we need to ask ourselves. If the setups work perfectly, would Red Ditto have lost the set anyway? Very hard to say because there's a lot of factors involved. Yes, you could say that Daru won most of the rounds. That's true. Daru did win most of the rounds. But Daru's controller was not messing up partway through the rounds. I would get shaken up if I'm in the zone. If I'm in the zone, if I'm gaming, I'm gaming, bro. I'm gaming. Something throws me out of that whack. Hard to game. Very hard to game. Really tricky. That really sucks, man. That really sucks. Yes, the problem is that we don't know. That's the issue. Is that could Red Ditto have clutched it out? Maybe, but we don't know. And unfortunately, we're not gonna find out because, dang, that really sucks. Because I understand because they also need to hit schedules. Yeah, I don't know. That's tough. That's really, really tough. That sucks, man. that blows. I'm very I'm proud of both parties being able to play it out, you know, being able to kind of come to a gentleman's agreement. It looks like Red Ditto didn't make a ton of a fuss over it. Should he have? Who knows? It's also very, very difficult to say. But ultimately, he played as best as he could in the circumstance given to him. And shout out to Daru Ino, EVO Grand Final, EVO Japan champion. I hope, and this is the problem, is that I hope that this circumstance does not take away from the fact that Ino is an amazing character, or an amazing player. Daru Ino is an amazing player, and he absolutely deserves to win. Red Ditto, same end of the spectrum. They both made it to Grand Finals. You know, they both deserve to have their shot at winning. Daru Ino, congratulations, you're the champ, man. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Yes, broken controllers, blah, 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 blah. But ultimately, you won the set.